why we chose Eshowe is because in the whole Zululand area and KZN area, it has the most fires. It's been having the most fires for the last few years. And fires start from the communities and they are started by the community members.
We have one season which we call the honey hunter season, which is March, April, May. And all these eucalyptus trees that you see around, they all flower over that period. And we get a massive influx of wild African bees. Lots of people go out and they actually smoke out that honey. The methods that they use to smoke it out, they normally use denim or car tire or something that's going to burn and make smoke. They make smoke, the bees go away, they then rob the hive, and they then drop that burning material, whatever it may be, on the forest floor. We can have up to 30, 40 fires a day. And then we have the formal fire season, which is basically during winter months, which is early July right the way through to end of October, until the first summer rains come.
The number of fires that we received last year, from July 2009 to June 30, we received about 156 fire calls. And we attended, of which about, I think it's 135. On June alone, we lost about 140 homes.
The landscape around here is very bad because when a fire starts here, it runs. It's got very narrow valleys, it's uphill slopes, so fires here destroy a lot of things, farms, cattle, even sometimes life.
Umlalazi municipality has 10 firefighters only to cover the area of 2,300 square kilometers. In terms of South African national standards, it's way too low, and we cannot meet the standards due to the financial constraints. Therefore, working on firefighters has been very useful.
In the whole Eshowe area, we've trained more than 100 people, but we've divided them up in wards. So Ward 4 has 39 volunteers, trained volunteers. We are now giving them a 5-day training, 2 days intense FireWise training and 3 days accredited basic firefighter training. So if the fire is a small fire, small homestead fire, they've got equipment, they've got PPE, basic PPE, so they can go put out that fire with the fire pits with the knapsack. But if there's a big fire, maybe starting from one of the sugarcane fields, one of the forestries, they will then call the municipality and call our dispatch centre. The team will come to put out the fire. They can be there to assist.
The most important thing that makes them incredibly powerful is that they are there, as in they are right there in the community that are going to be affected by that fire immediately. We call it initial attack. The first resources on scene, be it volunteers or formal fire brigade services, are incredibly critical, as fire is an exponential beast. The faster you get to it, the faster you put it out, the less risk there is people will get hurt.
So each person has been given a fire beater. This is an additional fire beaters to what they were given last year, because each ward got 20 fire beaters last year. They've been given 2 knapsacks per ward, and they've been given 3 or 4 rekus. And they've got helmets and boots, so that's what they've been given.
Extended Works program is incredibly important for the fire protection associations, because our biggest enemy in wildfire is ignorance. Knowledge is power, and it makes everything work much better.
We see them working mainly as fire prevention workers, so anything that prevents fires, which is burning of fire belts, awareness in communities and schools, slashing to reduce fuel loads, and also just making sure that there's water available during fire season in the different homesteads and communities, and in access to the communities in terms of the roads. They may be able to do just basic road works, and thereafter we see them doing more than just fire prevention, but just working as community workers.
Umlalazi local municipality are the only local municipality in the entire province of KZN that are members of the Fire Protection Association. And it is a massive feather in their cap that they have understood that it's not the fires that are the issue, it's the unwanted fires. And they, obviously due to large risk in that area, have gone above and beyond to put in systems that can stop the people from burning themselves down, literally.
The relationship with the municipalities really helped a lot, because when you're working in a community's NGO on your own, the community is less sort of prone to listen to you and want to get involved. But when they see the municipality, then they think, okay, this is serious, and then they're willing to cooperate and help. Secondly, some dynamics of the community we won't understand. And some areas we won't be able to touch, but with municipality by our side, we were able to reach communities and work with them easier. Councillors came on board, indunas came on board, chiefs came on board, and it was easy to just work with different stakeholders. In terms of resources, they were more than willing to give us transport if needed, to support us in terms of how do we manage these volunteers and get them working, and how do you monitor this project. In terms of maybe catering when we needed, when we did training, they were more than willing to say, okay, we've got a budget and this is how we're willing to help.
They are right behind the fire protection associations and are incredibly important because they are the councillors. So they are the actual political level of firefighting. Without the political buy-in, it just doesn't get to the ground.
I see the impact being bigger than what we had imagined. We initially thought we were going to sort of curb veld and forest fires, protect land, protect livestock. But with the stipend that they're getting, it's creating jobs. They fill in a questionnaire when they sign in a contract, and most of them said no one in a household of 9 is employed. But now at least one person can say that I'm employed. So it's really gone beyond sort of FireWise. It's become a job creation.
Nanolwazi-ke nje esilibonga kakhulu emphakathini ukuthi sizophusha sithole lawo masentana sihleze emakhaya sikwazi ukuthola insipho sikwazi ukuphilisa izingane zethu kakhulu. Ngubona lokhu kunomehluko omkhulu. Sibonga uNkulunkulu ngendlela enze ngayo ukuthi kube khona lolu hlelo nathi endaweni yakithi sikwazi ukuphakama singelutho kodwa siyibone sesutho oluphakemele.
I was not working full time here. I have to maybe some few months going to Durban. Now I've been able to focus on my area and raise my kids there where I'm closer to them. It's unlike moving from here to Durban. That is so difficult to have a distance relationship with my kids.
For the Zululand Fire Protection Association, we would not be able to be nearly as effective as what we are without working on fire, and especially now with this whole expanded public works. You've got to get the word down to the ground, and EPW projects are getting the word down on the ground. And what we found is an incredibly powerful weapon against unwanted fires, is that the whole working on fire concept, the actual firefighters live in that area. So they go home at night and they live in the tribal trust land. They go home and they look after their family and their household. And so we are getting rings of wildfire-aware communities all over where the working on fire systems are. And those rings have definitely proved very, very useful. As in, we've had some sectors outside Kwambanambi where we haven't had unwanted fires in 2 years.
Some communities were never given the opportunity to be aware of the dangers of fire. Through the volunteers, they are able to go to each and every school, community, tribal courts. They are also doing the door-to-door campaigns in doing awareness, so that it helps very, very much, which we cannot do as a municipality or with our resources that we have.
There is a great lack of understanding in this community, because since I've started working in this school, I've never heard or we've never been visited by anybody. Nobody came and explained about fire. We knew nothing.
Umlilo ngicabanga ukuthi uyingozi kakhulu la emakhaya ngoba uyicekela impilo zabantu kakhulu. Ngabatshela ukuthi abangadlanga umlilo.
Ngizothi umehluko phakathi kweingane nabantu abadala. Izingane kakhulukazi ezikoleni bezishesha ukunderstanda ngoba besize sibuze nemibuzo zikwazi ukusheshe iphendule. Abantu abadala bayaphuza ukuzwa ngoba kwesinye isikhathi mhlawumbe umuntu omdala akutshela ukuthi vele ngiyazi yabo, kodwa sizame ukubachazela ukuthi silethe ukuphepha yabo. Mhlawumbe njengalana bafuna ukuthi sibe nezinto esizishiyayo, kodwa asikwazi ukuthi sibe nezinto esizishiyayo masishane. Abantu abadala babuye bebe naleyo nkinga leyo.
Some teams that told me that people were starting fires deliberately, saying the firefighters must go to work because they are firefighters. Now some of them do understand that they are not firefighters, they are only fire preventers.
The thing that I find, this position, it's more challenging. It needs more leadership qualities. You have to deal with the problems arising maybe throughout the community or even to my colleagues themselves. Sometimes there are problems that you have to deal with. So it's not only developed me as a community worker, but it also implements some leadership qualities on us. The challenges that we face, if we do visit some houses, we find that we only receive the elder people, the youth is not involved. Sometimes they go do their things, come late, and they should be the examples which are doing those things that we advise them to do, like cleaning the yard and stuff.
If there is a way of training them more in firefighting, because we also short in terms of firefighters per se, and also giving them more resources of equipment and improve communication.
What I suggest is that we should have some people who are around the school who can keep on coming to advise about fire. Not that you come once and forget about coming back again.
Le project lena umphakathi ufisa ukuthi iye phambili kunokuthi ihlehle iphele. Sizozama ukuyibamba ngendlela evele ngayo, sizozimisela kakhulu kusithokozisile uqhamuka kwayo ngalolu hlelo lolu oliqhamuke ngalo nokwamasipala kanjalo nokahulumeni. Siyambonga kakhulu, siyethemba ukuthi ngeke lapha ezweni lakithi kwaNtuli kuthiwe iproject ethile yaqala yasifadalala yaphela kwadleka izinto ezithile nezithile kumbe sadayisa amathuluzi nani ngeke kwenzeke lokho.
Benginamahloni kakhulu ngingazi ukuthi ngizokwazi ukukhuluma nabantu, kodwa abakwa FireWise bangenzile ukuthi ngikwazi ukukhuluma nabantu njengoba ngikwazi. Angisenamahloni ngisho abantu bengaba bangakanani, ngiyakwazi ukubeka umuntu esithombeni noma ngabe kuthiwa ka understand, kodwa ngiyazama ukuthi ngimenza understand.
For me, I love what I'm doing. For me, it's an inspiration to just go out there and help the people. Especially as I'm working in my own community, that gives me a lot of credit, because sometimes if I've saved a house from a certain household, if I go past by, people say that we still have a house because these guys came and saved us.